"You're being terminated for unprofessional conduct," the hospital supervisor said coldly, sliding the paper across the desk. "You crossed a line." Maya stood frozen, still wearing her nurse scrubs, the faint scent of antiseptic clinging to her skin. Her full lips parted in disbelief. "He was dying," she whispered. "He was alone. I just held his hand." But they didn't care. Their eyes darted, uncomfortable, lingering briefly on her curves, as if her beauty somehow made her compassion suspicious. Her full figure, hourglass hips, striking features, chestnut curls, made her the subject of hallway whispers since day one. "You're a distraction," they'd said. Now they had a reason to make it official. 3 days earlier, Maya was assigned the night shift in the hospice wing, a quiet place where time moved slower and goodbyes lingered longer. That night, Mr. Alden, an elderly man with no visitors, had hours left to live. His breathing was labored, his eyes distant. Nurses came and went, charts were updated, vitals checked. But no one stayed. Until Maya. She saw the fear in his eyes, the way his fingers twitched for something, someone, to anchor him. So she took his hand, sat beside him, whispered comfort, held space. No words needed, just presence, just warmth. She didn't notice how long she'd stayed until the charge nurse entered and gasped. "You're not supposed to be here alone with him. What are you doing?" Maya looked up. "He's dying," she said softly. "He shouldn't be alone." The next morning she was summoned to HR. No warning, no review, just a single accusation. Inappropriate conduct. No one asked why. No one cared that she was the only one who had dared to care. As Maya walked out of the hospital, her heels clicking against the tile like a farewell drumbeat, staff looked away. Some in shame, others in quiet agreement. They'd judged her body since orientation. Too pretty, too curvy, too much. "This isn't a runway," someone once whispered behind her back. "She's not here to work, she's here to be seen." And now they used compassion as camouflage for envy. She was punished not for a mistake, but for making people uncomfortable with how much she cared. But what they didn't expect, what no one did, was what came next. 3 days later, the hospital received a letter, handwritten, signed by 6 members of the Alden family, the ones no one knew were watching, the ones who had arrived just after Maya had been forced to leave. To the administration, it began. "We came to say goodbye to our father and found the most extraordinary thing. A nurse, young, beautiful, kind, sitting beside him, holding his hand, singing to him, crying for him. We don't know her name, but we watched from the hallway. She didn't see us, but we saw her humanity." The letter continued, "We were too late. He passed minutes later, but not alone. Because of her. She gave him dignity. She gave us peace. And you fired her." Their voices got louder. The family posted online. The story spread. The community roared. "Reinstate her. Justice for Nurse Maya. We need more nurses like her, not fewer." Soon local news picked it up. Then national outlets. Headlines read, "Nurse fired for holding dying man's hand." And everywhere people asked, what kind of hospital punishes compassion? Maya stayed silent. She didn't chase the spotlight. She spent her days helping an elderly neighbor, volunteering at a shelter, avoiding cameras. She didn't know the family had started a petition, over 80,000 signatures in a week. The hospital board panicked, donations threatened, reputation at risk. Suddenly, Maya received a call. "We'd like to speak with you." She almost didn't answer, but the family insisted on joining. They wanted to stand beside her. In the boardroom, Maya walked in wearing a simple white blouse and slacks. But her presence lit the room. Confident, calm, magnetic. The same body that once drew scrutiny now commanded respect. Mr. Alden's son stood up. "This woman gave our father what your staff wouldn't. Kindness. You punished her for it. That's not just wrong, it's inhumane." A pause. Then applause. From board members, from staff who came to support her, from nurses who finally had the courage to speak. The hospital offered reinstatement, with apology, with back pay, with public recognition. But Maya said something no one expected. "I won't come back unless you change how you see compassion, and how you treat people who look like me. I'm not a distraction. I'm a nurse." The room fell silent. Then the HR manager, one who once avoided her gaze, stood up and nodded. "We needed to hear that," she admitted. "Thank you." Maya chose to return. Not for herself, but to be the face of change. To stand for every woman who's been underestimated, every nurse whose heart was called too much. She held hands again, this time with dignity, and no one dared to look away. Patients asked for her. Families requested her by name. She wasn't just the nurse with curves. She was the nurse who showed the world what true beauty looks like. Empathy. In her first week back, she passed the memorial wall where Mr. Alden's photo now hung. A note beside it read, "He died with love in the room." Because Maya stayed. She smiled, touching the frame gently, not for attention, but for closure. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.